Scotty, no bull. No Scotty, no Pippen, no Michael, no Jordan, no bull. No bull. No bull. Only real shit in my town. Not if fake niggas ain't round. No bull. No bull. Yeah. No bull.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of No Ball with me, Jimmy, from UK Chicago Bulls. It's a Tuesday night this week. We didn't do it last night because we had the early tip. We had the game, which was 8:30 tip-off last night, so we moved this to today, which has worked out pretty well because my guest normally works Monday evenings, so it's worked out well. I've been wanting to get him on for a while, and he could do tonight, so it's been perfect. We've got a lot to discuss. Not all good, sadly. In fact, a lot of really bad stuff, but it's not all doom and gloom. So as the results have been bad, but it's not all been bad. We've got a lot to crack on with. So let's just bring my guest in straight away. You've probably already seen it on the socials. If you have, he's a big part of the UK Chicago Bulls community. He's always getting involved, and we have a lot of interaction. But I've never actually spoke to him as so often with this, so it's great to get him on and get chatting with him. So without further ado, here's Scott. How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Thanks for joining me, mate. I really appreciate your time.
All good.
We've lost your sound a little bit, mate. You're a bit muffly there.
I've got my hand on something.
There we go. There we go. You're back. There we go. You're back. How you doing, man? All right?
Yeah, good.
Good. Thanks for joining me, mate.
Oh.
All right.
Not sure what happened there.
We've still got you, so it's all good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to join me, mate. I do appreciate it.
No worries.
You've not picked the best week to come on with regards to results.
No, not the best for results, but definitely a good one for talking points anyway.
Yeah, we've got a lot to crack on with. So let's start with how we usually start, and that's how did you become a basketball fan, and the obvious why Chicago Bulls?
Obviously, mid-90s as most people when it was on Channel 4, the games, and it was my brother who was into it first, and he was watching the Bulls, and yeah, just went from there. Mainly, I'd say, probably wasn't even Jordan as well, but it was Rodman and the crazy hair that, caught my eye first, and yeah. As you watch further, you just get more in with everyone, So
yeah, as everyone knows, I'm a massive Dennis Rodman fan. So yeah, I've got a lot of respect for that. He's a very close second for me. Obviously Michael Jordan, but yeah, Rodman, very, very close second. So you've been following the team through literally since the 90s, right the way through to now. Sorry, mate, we keep losing you. I think it might be your right. I think it might be your right hand.
Yeah, let me try.
There we go. Yeah, we've got you. That's it. That's better.
There we go.
Yeah, so you've been following right the way through then, for all the 2000s.
Yeah. All the way, from the Jalen Rose days, the Baby Bulls days, and then the almost glory days with Mr. Rose, but not quite. So, yeah. Right through.
Well, as people know, I only got back into it about 6 odd years ago, so I didn't see any of that because I watched it all back. So the closest with Derrick Rose and Noah and stuff come very close. But do you think we will this year?
It's hard to tell. It depends how we finish in this, and who we could get in the playoffs. I think fancy us against the Nets over a course of a series. Maybe not the Bucks, but obviously we've not seen how we come up against the Bucks yet. So we'll have to see.
Well, of course we got them Friday, but I don't think we're gonna find out a hell of a lot because I don't know. I think the Bucks have got a few players out as well, but we're still very short-handed. I think Caruso and Javonte are due back tomorrow, so they'll be on a minutes restriction, I would think. Whether they still are for the Bucks games, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Zach won't be there for that. Don't know about Lonzo yet. We're not sure. I'm desperately hoping Lonzo's back for the Bucks game because if he's not, then I think we've got absolutely no chance, to be truthful. But so it may not be a true. This game, if we did get them in a playoffs, it may not be a true reading of that. But we'll see. But that's the general consensus, isn't it? Most people are sort of more comfortable playing the Nets than the Bucks with our lineup. I think the matchup suits us a lot better with the Nets. Not last week's, perhaps, but
again, when we're full strength, I think I fancy us.
Yeah, me too. I mean, let's get into the games from last week. So we started off, obviously, the Pistons win, and what a win that was. I think I heard somewhere that it was the biggest win the Bulls have ever had over the Pistons.
Yeah, always nice against a rival.
Yes, absolutely, I was surprised it was the biggest ever. Was it a 46-point win in the end? Which it's crazy, isn't it, really, to be honest? But that was... I mean, we just dominated, didn't we, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much from the off. I say certainly... we were up at half-time. I'm just looking now. It was the third quarter, wasn't it? We absolutely annihilated them in the third. And then that was it. And they were never coming back from that. And that was a beautiful watch, wasn't it, that one?
Yeah.
We've been wanting the blowout win for some time to get some rest for our guys.
Yeah.
Especially with the schedule coming up. I mean, I think we've had 5 games in 7 days.
I think we've had 5 and 7 like twice over the last 3 weeks or something. So
it's been
that's obviously contributing to the form.
Yeah,
you've got guys who are tired and were short-handed. So which is one of the reasons I'm not worrying so much about this little skid that we're on.
I'm not. I'm assuming you've been keeping an eye on Bulls Twitter.
Yeah.
Many are overreacting.
Which I don't get. You just look at the team we've got out there. After the starters, who we got. You know what I mean? It's crazy to be panicking.
Our power forwards out. Our backup power forwards out. And our backup power forwards out.
Yes.
That's what we're up against, isn't it? That's the reality. And we were a bit short with regards to that position anyway. The next defeat, we've got to talk about them, haven't we? I mean, for me, it wasn't a big shock. The Nets were coming on a mission. Obviously, they had Kyrie back because it was in Chicago. We've beaten them twice already this season. They were always going to be well up for this game. We were number 1 seed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to say about that. I watched it live. It was a killer.
It's one of them not mine to catch up with, to be honest. Obviously, I've seen the result come through. It was obviously early start. But just one that I quite had time to catch before the next game started. So, I kind of thought, not one you'd want to kind of catch up with, really.
No, probably one you just sort of give a miss, to be truthful. I found that with the Miami Heat game a few weeks back. I ended up just watching the condensed highlights and a few plays and bits from it, to be honest, because we didn't have a team out. And to be fair, neither did Miami. It was like a couple of G League teams going against each other. So I must admit, I didn't actually watch the whole of that game back either. Had we had won, maybe I would have, but there we go. I mean, with the Brooklyn game, we were tied. Was it in the third quarter at 71 apiece? And it was it was looking quite promising. And then Brooklyn went on a 42-8 run. 42-8. That is It's incredible
When
from
they've
them.
got the weapons they've got to do that, no one's beating them
No,
in the league.
they were making everything. To be fair, every shot was just dropping for them, or it certainly seemed that way anyway. And we just, we were deflated, absolutely deflated.
Yeah.
We didn't look like a team at all after that. It just all went panicking and everything else, which is understandable, I guess. But Nets are just one of those teams. They're going to be able to do that at times. When their guys go off, they're going to be pretty much unstoppable. But like you, I would still be more confident playing those in the playoffs. So if it comes to that, of course, we've got to get there. Not in the playoffs. We're going to get in the playoffs. That's a given. But you know, we're going to be looking at Brooklyn or Milwaukee, I would imagine, in the conference semi-finals. So if we get past the first round, we'll see. But yeah, I think the general consensus is people would rather play Brooklyn than the Bucks. And I did say I'd rather play Brooklyn than the Sixers as well, up until last week. I'm not so sure now. Maybe that was a bit of a reality check. And then, oh God, this one was probably even worse. The Golden State Warriors game. I don't know. Zach LaVine goes down.
The Zach injury, I think, shook the team. We just didn't recover.
No.
I think.
3.5 minutes in, Zach goes down with an injury, and we just looked lost, didn't we? To be truthful, in that one,
like the whole game just went out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't watch that one live. I had to catch up the next morning. Kind of glad I didn't, to be honest.
Yeah.
But again, it's let's see. So bearing in mind they had no Klay Thompson, and they obviously had no Wiseman, who's still out, and the big one, Draymond Green. So you're going into it thinking, no Klay, no Draymond. You've got a good chance. You're not going to get a better chance of beating the Warriors than that, realistically. Curry didn't go off. He had 19 points, which is, for him, is a quiet game. Yeah, that's
everyone else did.
Yeah, everyone else. That's a game we should probably be winning, in my opinion, at home as well. But like you say, the Zach injury, I think it just threw everyone off, and it's just one of those. Again, you just take it on the chin and try and move on from it. And then Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
This was one.
One goes out as well. Everyone didn't even give us a chance, and we almost.
Almost. Yeah, almost. We had all the players out, and it was a much easier game to watch. Again, I caught up with this the following morning, watched the whole game, and I was so impressed with how we played as a team. I thought we played brilliantly. It's the kind of effort you want, especially from the guys. So we had we had Io and Kobe starting, and Alfonso McKinney started as well, which I think was his first start actually. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe he started against the Golden State Warriors. I can't actually remember now. No, I think that was his first start, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Troy Brown started against the Warriors. So yeah, that was McKinney's first start. That says it all. No disrespect to McKinney. I think he's done pretty good considering he's come in. But the fact that he's starting in that game tells you it all, really. Tells you where we're at. But it was a much better effort. And I think Boston are in trouble, aren't they, to be honest?
Yeah. Even with them, they're underachieving with the squad they've got, to be fair.
Massively.
They shouldn't be fighting for the play.
No.
They should be elite, secure at least 6.
They should be top 6. That's where they probably the fans expect, at least, anyway, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of fun in the group chat, though, because there's a few Boston fans in there. So shout out to Rich Barrett and Rob from the NBA UK fans lot, because they're both Boston Celtics fans, and Boston Brit Nathan Mundy as well. So they got the W this time, but I would still much rather be in our position. Obviously, that goes
for me as well. Celtics are always one of them teams, because I'm a football fan and I'm a Rangers fan. I've got different hatred for the Celtics for other reasons.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's not something I am really into, the Scottish football, but yeah, I get that. That makes sense. That's probably a game you really want to win, isn't it, to be truthful?
Definitely. Yeah.
One of the big key things which I noted from that Boston game was the rebounding. We gave up 17 offensive rebounds to them. That
even the Warriors game as well, the rebounding was very poor. It was sloppy.
Yeah.
You know.
What did we do? I'm just trying to get the box score up now. So, it's the offensive rebounds, man. You can't be giving teams those. The Warriors only got 9 offensive rebounds against us, but they did get.
I'm pretty sure they scored from every single one of them.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We're in the blowout.
Yeah, you're probably right. But I mean, to give up, I'm just double checking that because I'm saying it out loud and it sounds crazy. Offensive rebounds 17. Yeah, I mean that's. You can't be giving them. I just had to double check that because it just seems crazy. But yeah, the 17 offensive rebounds and then they got 33 defensive rebounds. To give them 17 second chance opportunities.
Yeah.
That cannot happen. I know we're short-handed, I get that. But like Rodman always said, one of our favourite players, it's rebounding. It's not about your size. Sometimes it is, of course, but you've got to want it. You've got to want that rebound, and we just didn't, did we? Let's be honest.
No.
Save a couple of them, and that game's got a different result on it. But also, I don't know if you saw, the officials released the last 2-minute report about, was it Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
I think
that's dumb.
I think there should have been a foul called or something or other, which would have been 2 free throws to the Bulls when we were already up by 2, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
That probably closes the game, perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're never going to know. But for them to release that I would rather they just kept it to themselves, to be honest. I know people say, well, it's good that they...
We've had a few of them this season as well, haven't we? With close games where they've said, should have been a foul or whatever. When it's been a close game, it's like...
It's hard to take. It's hard to accept, especially when they come out and say, yeah, we got it wrong. Because I understand why, and people say, well, they need to do that and then it might change. But it doesn't change, does it? This is the trouble. The officiating's been really poor. Not just for us. I'm not making excuses. Around the league, the officiating's been so poor. Did you see the one, Kate Cunningham?
Just about to say that. Yeah, you want to look at that for pointing.
Oh my God. So he dunked on somebody, I forget who it was now, Cade Cunningham, and all he done was pointed in celebration after the dunk, and they gave him a second tech and he got ejected for pointing. It's criminal. And what Russell Westbrook had one last night, didn't he? He dunked on Rudy Gobert. I didn't actually watch that. I only saw the clip this morning, so I asked if he did get a tech, and apparently he did.
I thought he didn't. I thought I heard he didn't, but...
somebody
commented. At least if he did, then at least that's somewhat consistent. But there's been a few dodgy ones this season.
I think it's terrible. You can't celebrate. You can't, I mean, the Pippen dunk over Patrick Ewing. I mean, imagine nowadays if he had done that.
Even, you go back to the 2000 Olympics, Vince's dunk.
Yeah.
How can you not celebrate that as well?
Yeah. They do need to let these guys play and do their thing. If you posterize someone, of course you're going to celebrate. Of course you are. Although I do stand by, I would rather see my player get posterized than just move out the way personally, because I'd rather see them try.
At least you show them willing.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be put on a poster, but at least you're trying to stop the basket.
Yeah, that's it.
Then we went on to last night's game against Memphis. Did you manage to... I suppose you were working, were you? So you didn't get to see it till later?
Yeah, I watched it after it finished pretty much. So, it was... And then the rest of it this morning. So, again, poor. Just didn't get going. That's all.
No. Ja Morant was pretty phenomenal.
They've got, in my eyes as well, the most improved player of the season, Bane.
Oh, Bane. He's come out of nowhere.
Really has.
Yeah, they've been a great team, and I'm a big Steven Adams fan as well.
Yeah.
I got a lot of love for Steve. Did you see him pick up Tony Bradley?
Just just nice and calm. Away you go.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? I don't know if people maybe didn't see it. Tony Bradley got in a bit of an altercation with Ja Morant, and Ja Morant turned around, stood his ground, and Stephen Adams literally just come in. Bearing in mind, Tony Bradley is a big dude, but he's just not as big as Stephen Adams. Stephen Adams just come in and picked him up like a child and just walked him away. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We've got a lot of love for Stephen Adams. Ja Morant, I mean, what can you say? The dude is scary good. Scary good.
Yeah.
He would have been my first pick in that draft, and I'm not just saying that in hindsight.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He was who I wanted for the Bulls in that year. If we obviously finished a bit better in the draft, I was hoping for him, but obviously we didn't fall. Well, we got our usual 7.
Yeah, number 7. So we had,
7.
Was that the Kobe draft or the
Kobe.
Pat William? Yeah, it was the Kobe draft, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to get the number 2 pick because I thought if we got the number 1 pick, they would get Zion. I think most teams were probably picking Zion at number 1. I really didn't want Zion, and that's nothing against him as a player because he's clearly phenomenal when he's fit. He's unstoppable, but the injuries were always going to be an issue. I mean, he's had them all the way through, so it's no big shock. Sorry, Sam's just jumped in the comments. Sorry, Sam, I've only just seen this. Just announced Bucks game is on ESPN. Hope that doesn't go the way that other ESPN games have gone. Yeah, I did actually just see that before we jumped on, Sam. That's a good point. We've not exactly shown ourselves in a good light on national television this last week. So hopefully it doesn't go that way. I don't know if they'll change the tip-off time for that as well, because I believe that was scheduled for a 1 a.m. It was. They haven't changed it yet. I would love for them to make that an early tip, because speaking with Sean from UK Bucks, and he's got the night off work now. He was supposed to be working, but he's managed to get the night off. So we're both going to watch that one live. So there'll be a bit of backwards and forth on Twitter, no doubt. Yeah. And we might, Sean was talking about doing a Spaces as well before the game, sort of earlier, I guess. So that could be a thing. Hopefully we can get that set up. So yeah, everyone look out for that. That'll be good fun. He's a good guy, Sean. He's real good laugh. So yeah, credit to him. And what he's done with that Bucks account in such a short space is pretty good too. And yeah, you can't help but think they might be celebrating another chip this year, because they do look very, very good right now. Although they did lose last night. They lost to Atlanta Hawks last night. So it's not over yet, Sean.
Essentially, we both be on a 1-5 in the last 6 games going into that.
Well, yeah, they've got
Grizzlies next.
They've got Grizzlies tomorrow night. Yes. Yeah.
And Cavs will be a tricky one for us.
It will. I mean, like I said, Caruso and Javonte are supposed to be back, but they will be on a minutes restriction. So we'll see how that goes. No, I haven't actually heard any news on Lonzo. We desperately need Lonzo back as well. We clearly miss Lonzo. We've got to talk about the elephant in the room. I hate it, but we've all seen it on Twitter. Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
It's a tricky one because it's just not. I don't know. There's just no confidence there. I think that's the main issue. I think the confidence thing, because when he's going, he's one of the best. Obviously, he's not an all-star for nothing. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% agree, and I think it's visible when you watch him play, because his head just seems to go, and we've seen it in a couple of games where it's just frustration. And he's smashing the ball against the ground of the court and stuff. And yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
The guy has got bags of talent. He's shown it throughout his career. Multiple All-Star. Hopefully he'll be an All-Star again this year. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure he will.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. He
No,
needs
I
to up
don't.
his game.
Yeah, definitely needs a good run.
The trouble he's got, a lot of Bulls fans have massively turned on him,
Yeah.
and a lot of them turned on him before last
I
night's
think
game.
a lot of them turned right at the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Because, I mean, even you look at that stretch where we didn't have him and we missed him.
yeah,
Just presence was glaringly obvious.
yeah.
You know,
It was quite good. I got to shout out Matt Peck and Big Dave from Locked On Balls. Listen to regularly. They sort of said, I remember that you saying that at the beginning of the season. They're big Vooch backers as well, and I remember them saying to people after he was out, now you're realizing that how important Vooch
yeah,
is, and it's not just his shooting, it's not just his scoring. He just,
yeah,
like you say, his presence alone is somebody that the opposition
yeah,
have to respect.
yeah.
Even in a slump, you can't risk leaving him open on the
No,
3 point
no,
line or even inside in the paint. You just can't
yeah.
leave him. So yeah, he's for
And I
me.
thought,
Sorry, go on.
looking back at the Warriors game, I think there was an instance where we found him quite early in the post and he just made easy work of it. And we should have gone to that more often, but we
Yeah.
didn't. Which, if we had, maybe that would have helped his confidence.
Mm. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's kind of go back to Lowry Markkinen. As everyone knows, I'm a big Lowry Markkinen fan. But
Yeah,
I remember every time I used to watch the Bulls, every shot Lowry took, I would be literally on the edge of my seat, wanting it to go in for his own confidence.
yeah,
And I'm feeling that same way about Vooch now. Whereas with DeRozan, with Zach, if they drop, they drop. If they don't, well, they're going to carry on.
yeah,
And you know that they're not going to go through long period shooting slumps. Zach and DeMar, they're
yeah,
just not. They might have an off game, but you can absolutely guarantee the
yeah,
following game they're coming back and they're going to go lights out. With Vooch, unfortunately, that's not been the case for him. It's a case
yeah,
of, is it going to be a good game tonight? Or is it going to be another bad game?
yeah.
It is a confidence thing,
I
absolutely.
feel as well a similar thing we could say with Kobe as well, except it's the opposite at the minute. He's in a good run, whereas he struggled early in the season. He's had his critiques, his criticism, but he's come through that and he's shining at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you can't criticise Kobe all the time. His number one fan, Sam, is in the chat because he'll come for you. No, I've got to give Kobe a massive shout out because I love Kobe. I've always said it as a person. I love his work rate and everything else. I wasn't sure if he would ever be the player some thought he might, but I think he's already shown signs that he absolutely could be. I
Yeah,
mean, he's been since he come back. Okay, he had a couple of quiet-ish games, but he was coming back off
yeah,
a long-term injury, so that's to be expected. So yeah, absolutely fair play to. Sorry, the cat's just decided to come in. Fair play to Kobe for shutting the doubters up, myself included. I wasn't a
yeah,
vocal doubter. Sam's in the comments. Don't trade Kobe. Sam, I don't know. Maybe they still will. He certainly his trade value's got to have gone up.
yeah.
I personally, I'm absolutely happy with what we've got right now. If we're fully healthy, I'm
I
happy.
think as well for Kobe, he's one of them players. I prefer him more like the Ben Gordon off the bench scoring role. Your Jamal Crawford type. That's where he'll thrive
Yeah, yeah.
and hurt
He's
teams.
he's not a starter. I don't think. Not
No,
for a contending team. Absolutely not. And I say contending in regards to a home seed in the playoffs. So I'm not being
yeah,
unrealistic. The Bulls, in my opinion, they're not going to win a chip this year. They're just not. I would, don't get me wrong. If we did, nobody would be happier than me.
yeah,
But I don't think. I just can't. I just
yeah,
cannot see it. I really can't see that happening. Even at fully fit Bulls team, I just don't think. I don't think we can do it. If we were lucky enough to get past, say, the Nets in the semis, are we going to realistically
yeah,
beat the Bucks in the conference finals? If we do, are we going to beat? I mean, who's it even going to be? Is it going to be Memphis?
yeah,
Is it going to be Phoenix? Is it going to be Utah? we don't know. Denver, it could be anyone. It's so wide open, really, in my opinion, anyway. I just don't think we've got the team to do it. So does AK go all in for a Jeremy Grant type player? Who Jeremy Grant is someone I think would put us over the edge.
Yeah.
But what do you give up? Because it's not Kobe on his own.
Yeah. That's it. Do you risk, something that might backfire? It's a hard one. A hard position, I think, when you're so close as well.
This is the problem, isn't it? Because you don't want to mortgage your entire future on this season. When even someone like Jeremy Grant, to me, that does absolutely improve us. Of course it does. It makes us a better matchup to deal with the likes of the Bucks, the Sixers, and anyone else. But there's certainly no guarantee. I don't know, man. Like I always say, we'll leave that to AK and Mark Eversley. And for me, they've got everything right so far. So I trust. If they want to trade someone, then trade them and just go with it. Whoever that is, we just got to trust them. And if they decide to keep it as it is, well, we got to trust that as well and just see how this plays out, because we have got a hell of a team, and I think people are forgetting that after this last week. Some of the stuff I've seen on Twitter, and it's like, really, after the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me. If you had said at the start of the season, we're about halfway through the season, near enough, maybe just over now, that we would be in the number 1 seed in the East at this point, let alone with all the players we've had out. And I know everyone's had players out with injuries and protocols and everything else, but to have gone, we lost our last 4. What have we lost? The last 4, and we've lost, I think it's 6 in 5, isn't it? Yes, I'm confusing myself here. So we've lost the last 4, and we've lost 5 of the last 6. Sorry, and we're still sat at the number 1 seed. That's all right. Probably not for much longer, but that's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And I mean, we've been lucky as well this past week that other teams around us have dropped games. Nets have dropped a couple since beating us. Bucks have dropped. Well, Bucks again, they're on a similar run to us. They've only won 1 of the last 5 or something daft like that, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's certainly no guarantees. I mean, look at Golden State. That they've slipped up again, didn't they? And it's just We've got to touch on Io again. We seem to be praising him every single week, but how can you not? I mean, if you're sick of us talking about Io, then I'm not even sorry, because the man's
absolute steal.
The man's phenomenal on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, he was up against the number 1 pick last week and showed him up.
And I think, all right, Ja Morant was fantastic last night. You're never going to stop Ja Morant. There's certain players that you cannot stop.
Yeah.
But I thought he'd done a pretty solid job on him. When Io was guarding him, I thought he'd done a really solid job. So, it's great to have him defensively as well.
Yeah, and the numbers that he's putting up as well, obviously, are giving him that extra plaudits as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's the players we've got out. Everyone knows it, but let's just go over it. Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Javonte Green, Derek Jones Jr., and Tyler Cook. And obviously Patrick Williams has been out all season long. Hopefully, there is talks that he could be coming back real soon.
Yeah. It's just interesting that it looks like he's training a bit more and getting a bit more into it. So
there's a lot of rumours that he could well be back sort of end of next month, which would be, that would be amazing. Of course, he's going to be rusty. He's been out all season, so we can't put too much on him.
If it's the end of next month, that's perfect time.
Yeah.
For him to get into it in time for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And my God, I hope he is. So please, Patrick, don't go too mad. But if you could get back then, that would be great. And I think we've massively missed Derek Jones. We've obviously missed Zach LaVine. Yeah. We've obviously missed Lonzo Ball. We've obviously missed Alex Caruso. I mean, those 3 guys, goes without saying, you're going to miss players of that talent. Derek Jones Jr. to me has been a real surprise, as well as Javonte Green. But we'll start with Derek Jones Jr. I mean, we've missed him massively.
Yeah, definitely.
He's
Definitely.
he's been a big loss. And then Javonte, Javonte, I never watch him, and I'm never not surprised when I watch him. He's just the man's phenomenal. I don't know if you heard Stacey King's Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast last week. He had Zach LaVine on.
Right, I'm not. It's not something I managed to get around to, like I say, time wise and stuff.
It's brilliant. I mean, they had DeMar DeRozan on the week before, and then last week they had Zach LaVine on, and it was really good actually hearing Zach. How happy you can just tell how happy Zach is just by his tone of voice now compared to how he was the last few years. But they asked him about who was the player that he was most surprised by, that he didn't expect to be as good as they were. And he started with, initially, obviously, Alex Caruso. He said, I knew Alex Caruso was a great player. I didn't realise how much of a great IQ he had.
Yeah.
And he said he's guaranteed to be a coach if he wants to be when he retires eventually and what have you. And he said, but the other one that he was most probably shocked about, as in regards to play, was Javonte Green.
Yeah.
Which I think we all have been shocked by Javonte Green. I think, did we pick him up at the Celtics? I think the Celtics released him, didn't they? Waived him. So
when we got Thies.
Yeah, that was a great pickup. Absolutely amazing pickup there. Again, AK and Mark Eversley, they find these diamonds, don't they? And hopefully Patrick Williams turns into the player that we all, I should say, hope that he can be. Because how they got Ayo Dosunmu in the 38th pick, I will never know. I would never know.
How people let him go, how all the other teams let him get to that is just insane.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I'm not a big college basketball guy, and I didn't really know much about him, to be fair, other than he was a Chicago native, obviously, and yeah, what a pickup that was. I mean, he's looking like the steal of the draft for me at 38. I mean, if you redone that draft right now, I mean, where does he go? Top 6, probably? I don't know, maybe higher, who knows? But yeah, absolute steal. Right, Scott, we're going to get into the games we've got coming up this week. So, last week I had Vinny and Jared from the Met the Criteria on. And they predicted, I mean, we had 5 games. So we had Pistons, ones we just discussed. Pistons, Brooklyn, Golden State, Boston and Memphis. Excuse me. Jared and Vinny both said 2 and 3. And I was a bit more confident and said 3 and 2. This time last week, of course, or last Monday, we did have a few more players healthy. So hence why we were a bit more confident there.
Yeah, I missed it.
We obviously went 4 and 1, so that was no points. So it's still 1 point to me and 1 to the guest. Now, this week, we have got Cavs tonight.
Yep.
That's at home. The Bucks on the road Friday.
Cavs tomorrow night.
Cavs tomorrow night, at home.
Yep.
The Bucks on the road Friday. And then we've got a back-to-back, which is the Orlando Magic on the road Sunday. And then the OKC Thunder on the road Monday. So that's Cavs, Bucks, Magic, Thunder. What are you saying?
It's a tough little run because even, with the record, the Magic, the matchup to us might favour them. With the size and stuff, that might just...
I cannot let the Magic beat us because Geraint from Orlando Magic UK...
We will not hear the end of it just because of the Vooch trade.
He will
this
be
is one where
unbearable.
Vooch needs to step up.
He will be unbearable. We already know that Wendell Carter's going to go off for like 35.
Yeah.
That's just what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Andy Zoglu just in the chat, he said he thought it was 8 o'clock tonight. Sorry, Andy, we did change it tonight, man. You can catch up. It's all good. No hard feelings for missing. I think it's probably the first one you missed, to be fair. Although you haven't completely missed it because you have joined us, but no worries, man. We have to beat Orlando. We just have to because it's it doesn't. Geraint will be unbearable, absolutely unbearable. Shout out Geraint if you're listening. I love you, man, but goodness me, I'm not ready for that.
I don't know. I'm going to go with an optimistic. I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2. Okay.
Yeah, I think. Well, Cavs are doing well and they're on a run. I can't see us beating them. I think the Bucks might just do us, and hopefully, if we've got Zach back, maybe that might boost us. But yeah, I think we'll just edge the Magic. I think it'll be closer game than it needs to be. But
Well, that Magic game it's on Sunday and it's an 11 o'clock tip. So it's not exactly a UK friendly, but it's friendlier than a lot of them. So
yes.
yeah, that'll probably be one I'll try and stay up for if I'm still awake from the Bucks game, of course, because I'm definitely getting up for that, which is a 1 a.m. tip.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's thrown me because I was going to go 2-2 as well. I am going to let my heart rule my head, and I'm going to say, because I won't copy you, I am going to go 3-1 because I really don't want to go 1-3.
Yeah.
I'm going to be positive.
I hope I'm wrong and you're right.
I hope we're both wrong and we go 4-0, but I don't think that's going to happen if I'm being realistic. No. I think if we need Lonzo back. We need Lonzo. We need Caruso, Javonte, and Lonzo back. We also need Zach back. We need Pat Williams back, but they're not going to happen this week.
Yeah.
And Derek Jones Jr., that's not going to happen this week either. If we can get Caruso and Javonte back for tomorrow, I know they'll be on a minutes restriction. I think we can beat the Cavs tomorrow. But we need DeMar to go off, and we need Vooch. We need Vooch to find his form as well. I really hope that he stayed off Twitter, Vucevic, because from what I'm hearing, he's quite a sensitive guy, and he's kind of an arm around the shoulder type player.
Yeah.
I think that's how Billy Donovan kind of deals with him. He's not one you want to be shouting at because his head will just get worse. This is just what I've heard. So I hope Vooch has stayed off Twitter because that's not going to do him any favours mentally if he's seen some of the tweets that are out there. By the way, some of the tweets have just been truly shocking. It's fine, don't like someone, whatever, But yeah, I've seen a couple of people wishing injury on him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just, they're not Bulls fans, man.
No,
Remember when we were watching Wayne Selden Jr.? Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
it winds me up. I love Vooch. I'm a big Vooch fan, as most people know. And I keep saying he'll come good when it matters. I hope I'm right. I really, really do. If he doesn't want to show up till the playoffs, that's fine by me. Just have a great playoffs and shut everyone else up. That'll be the opposite of what Julius Randle done for those Knicks. Sorry, I said Knicks. Randle had a great regular season and went missing in the playoffs. So let's hope Vooch does the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah. Right, Scott, thanks for joining me tonight, mate. I really appreciate it. It's been great chatting with you.
Yeah.
So sorry,
hopefully it'll work out again to do it again sometime.
Zoglu just put Vooch was garbage yesterday, no doubt about that. But the game before he dropped 27 points, absolutely 100%. Yeah. Vooch was terrible yesterday. I'm not going to beat around the bush and try and defend that. He had a shocker, absolutely he did. But to wish harm on him for it is pathetic. And yeah, if you were one of those guys, unfollow me, don't watch this, don't listen to this, just block me, whatever, because I don't want to be seeing nonsense like that about any player. It's just not on. Yeah. It's not on. So, I will stand Vooch 100% all the way. As long as he's a Chicago Bulls player, I will try and defend him as best I can, even if games like last night makes it very hard to do.
Yeah. But there's ways about it, you just say, it ain't working, it's not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to change, without being cruel, which is ridiculous.
If you want to trade him, that's fine. You're more than entitled to your opinion. But just to wish harm on someone is it's a bit scummy to be honest with you, and it's a shame, and it's giving Bulls fans a real bad name. I've been getting stick from Elliot. Shout out Elliot from Hoopin' and Luton, who's just got back from New York actually. He was watching the Bulls games because of course he was in America with the time zone and stuff, and he was giving me stick because Bulls fans were booing Vooch, and I don't get that, man. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. I just don't understand why you boo your own players.
Yeah.
How is that helping anything? It's the same with football. I hate it when football teams do it, and I hate it even more when Bulls fans do it, and it gives the fans a terrible name because everyone gets painted with that brush, and it's just it is a minority, but the minority, as always, they're the ones that get hurt, aren't they? Because they're the ones that are screaming louder. So
louder.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that Vooch goes on a tear and shuts those doubters up. And I've got all the receipts, like I always say. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring them back up. But we got the receipts.
Yeah, one we've used a lot this season.
Well, let's see. I mean, I love Lowry, but I would love for him to outscore Lowry and do a number on the Cavs tomorrow night. I root for Lowry all the time, but not when he's playing against us, of course. So yeah, hopefully Vooch can go off because we need him to. There's no two way about it. We absolutely need him to if we're going to win that game because like you say, the Cavs are playing really well at the moment. So we need to keep on that top spot as well because Miami Heat are coming up very fast. Very fast.
Yeah. Nowhere.
So, yeah, Ollie from it was Ollie, wasn't it, from the Miami Heat guys put on there this morning #1, and I think he thought that Miami Heat were #1 seed this morning because they've won more games than us, but the win-loss ratio is still with the Bulls. So I put a screenshot of the current Eastern Conference standings. So did someone say #1? And he said, "Yeah, my bad. I was misled or misinformed," and he was misinformed by Dan Healy from Miami Heat UK, who also thought they were top. So that was quite nice to hand them a little L this morning, even though we've been playing terrible. That was the highlight of this past 7 days for me. Was just handing Miami Heat a little L just before they probably are going to catch us. I mean, who have they got? They got Portland tomorrow. They're going to beat Portland, let's be honest. Portland are without Dame. They weren't doing great with Dame. So Miami Heat are going to win that game. So if we don't
Portland are one of them teams, whenever they seem to play the Bulls, they're a bogey team.
Yeah.
They do always seem to beat us.
Yeah, but normally with Dame, though.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, when I got to Chicago, one of the games I went to was the Blazers, and they beat us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When was that? When did you get there?
I went in 2016 for my 30th birthday. Mrs.
Brilliant.
Treated me. Best present ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So went to 2 games while I was there. There was 3. One of them was against the Cavs when they had LeBron, but just the prices were just ridiculous for that game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So the Lakers game was the day we got there. I didn't book it because I thought if I book it, knowing my luck, flight will be delayed and I'll miss it. So we got there in time. We were in the hotel 20 minutes. Game was booked. 20 minutes later, we were on the way.
Wow. Is that with the Lakers, did you say?
Yeah. It was the season after Kobe retired, though, unfortunately.
Man.
But I saw something a lot of Lakers fans probably didn't see. Lou Aldeng playing in a Lakers jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a different kind of experience. He got a good reception.
I was going to say, I bet he got a great reception from the Bulls fans, yeah.
Annoyingly, we lost that one as well. So
you've been twice and we've lost twice. I think we're going to ban you from the United Centre, Scott. Come on.
And then, obviously, we played the Cleveland game I didn't go to, which we won.
It's always the way.
Can't write it, can you? Can't write it.
So they beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
But it probably would have cost you about $1,000 to get in, so...
Oh, even for the nosebleed seats, it was like insane prices.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, I've not been yet. I'm hoping to get out. I really want to get out for the playoffs, but I also don't want to go while restrictions are in place. So I don't know yet. I'm really leaning towards getting out there for the playoffs. I would love to do that. But I don't know, man. If the restrictions are still in place, then I'm not going to. I'm going to save it and maybe go out October, November time. For the start.
I personally, because my birthday was December, so I would recommend that time of year. You've got all the Christmas stuff going on in Chicago. It's just so much to do. It's really cool.
Yeah,
and it's
man.
just like it's next level. Like
Mate.
you'll see Christmas stuff over here, and it's like boring now.
Not quite the same. Yeah, they do
Yeah,
things on a different level over there, don't they?
yeah,
In the States in
yeah,
general. So yeah, maybe that's maybe I will wait until December time, but we'll see. Let's see
yeah,
what goes on with this craziness that is COVID, and
yeah.
if I can get out for April for the playoffs, then yeah, man, that would be pretty. My birthday's in April as well, so
People.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely getting
Fingers
out there
crossed,
one
mate.
way or another. So whether it's April or May this year, or November, December this
Yeah,
year, one way or another, I'll get out there. So
yeah,
yeah, Scott,
yeah.
thanks again, man. Do really appreciate your time. Just give yourself a little, give your Twitter handle and stuff a quick shout out before we go.
Yeah, it's Scotty Mac 5. Pretty simple with a Y, Scotty.
It
So
is on the
hopefully getting a
screen.
few more.
It is on the screen as well if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah,
But if you're just listening on the podcast, it's at Scotty Mac, Scotty with a double T, Scotty Mac 5, at Scotty Mac 5. So yeah, go and give Scott a follow on Twitter. He's a good lad. He gets involved with the community. We've got a nice little setup with everyone. We've got a great UK community over here and plenty of Bulls fans. So yeah, thanks again, Scott. Yep, Zoglu's put playoffs would be nice. Yeah, it really would, man. But we'll see. We'll see. Sam, Andy, thanks again for jumping in on the comments. Always appreciate you guys showing love. And yeah, like I said, thanks a lot, Scott. And we will catch up soon, my friend.
good. Well, cheers. Thanks very much, buddy.
You take care, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
See you soon.
We'll be back, probably back to normal next week. So we're going to look at doing a Monday show, and it will probably be the usual time of 8 o'clock. So look out for that. I'll put it on the socials as well, just to confirm. Thanks for joining us if you have, or watching back, or listening. As always, really do appreciate it. Enjoy the games this week. Hopefully we'll have a better week than we just have had. And something to celebrate next week with a bit of luck. But yeah, stay safe, guys. Take care.